Oh,
Hey guys, it is Yo Girl Tammy and my buddy Joel Wilson here, and the new podcast, Breaking 80 Baby. How are you today, Joel?
I don't know which way is up right now. I have been so busy. We were talking off the air. I have I just don't like I said, I don't know which way's up. I don't know what day it is. We're supposed to do the podcast. You said see you in a couple minutes, and I'm like, oh crap. I'm right in the
That's
middle of
funny.
something. Let's push it back 30 minutes. So I
That's
apologize
so
for that, but
awesome.
man,
Well,
I
you know what? Yeah, that's a good problem to have. You have a lot going on. It's a really exciting time.
I know, and we're going to be dropping little hints as we go along because you will be a part of it. I will tell you that. It's going to be fun. 2026 is going to be a really cool year.
It is. Yeah, I can't wait to leak more and more Easter eggs to the public. And I'm excited to be a part of your journey. It's really cool to see what you're doing,
Oh.
reinventing aspects of golf.
Yes,
And
exactly. I mean, it's one of the
yeah,
things where if you're going to be a part of golf, then make money doing it. That's all I say.
man, if you can, wouldn't I just love your girl and my nursing heart wouldn't hate to go more full-time golfer and part-time nurse. And
There you go. There you go.
yeah, that's always the dream.
You can be the on-course nurse. How's that? You know what? I'm
There
so
you go.
excited. This is almost like making an eagle on the first hole is how excited I am.
Oh
How's that
man.
for a segue?
Oh my God. I'm so glad that you brought it up. So, your girl made an eagle last week on number one, a par five. There is like a creek right in front of the green. So, it's not an easy green to approach. You have to make a decision, lay up or go for it. And I already know what you would do.
Oh,
So,
yes.
every week I lay up. So, I had a hell of a drive. I've got my brand new Cobra driver.
That's right. You do.
I'm working on footwork from my new swing coach, Marty Urias, and he's based at Cross Creek Golf Course, Temecula, California, and
There
he's
you go.
awesome.
Nice shout out.
Yeah, for my buddy Marty, and he's been helping me with just my balance and my tempo. Turns out I was positioning the weight on my feet, totally the opposite of what I should have been doing. So, in any case, all this work is paying off in no time. I've been doing some practice, not super heavy practice. I had a huge drive, I had a huge second shot with my 3 wood. And then I was within 78 yards of the hole. And I was actually standing on the fairway next to my buddy who's a pro golfer. And he took his shot before me. He was like a couple yards behind me, and he put it within a couple feet of the pin because he's like a pro. He's the guy who shot a 63 at our course.
Wow.
And then I shot right after him. We were talking about which club to use. He was a great caddy and shot my pitching wedge, probably 75 yards, and then it rolled a little bit left, swirled into the cup and went down. And I was there with two other buddies playing and one of their girlfriends, my girl Haley, and we all freaked out, jumped up and down, did shots immediately, high
It's
fives and hugs.
it's nice to start the round two under.
Oh my God. And you know what? I needed every bit of that because
Yes, but I
I
mean,
ended that round a 92.
with an eagle,
So with
with an
an
eagle.
eagle, I would love to say that I shot lower. My hole in one round last year, I played better the remainder of the round. This round, I don't know what was going on. I just couldn't get myself out of trouble. But I'm a work in progress right now.
Oh, yes.
But if that first hole is any reflection of what's to come, I feel really, really good about it.
Well, that's how it is. You look at it and going, I know I did it once. Why can't I do it again? You know, even if you don't pull it out, you're going to be there for with a short birdie putt. So you're starting the round in the on the negative, which is good.
Yeah. And actually, this is the mindset. You and I, we talk about mindset a lot. So here
Yes, we
we've
do.
stumbled onto this topic. And I'm a big manifester and mindset person. I'm working on my breath work before I go now. This is a big push But I think I need to spend some time manifesting the course. And some people do this mental work before they go. They play every hole in their mind.
Yes.
But I have to remember I've parred every hole. So I can par every hole. I've birdied so many of the holes on this course. So this should be something that I can do and
Hmm.
string it all together at least one.
Unfortunately, it's that lump sometimes that gets in the way, the lump 3 feet above your ass kind of thing that gets in the way going, I know I can do this, but when you're swinging, your swing says, oh no, you can't, not this time. And you're going to hook it right or slice it, whatever it's going to be. And it's like, yeah, why? Because I know I can do it. I know I've birdied this hole, I've parred this hole, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You talk about manifesting the course. I do a podcast with Rob West, a really good golfer. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's been on the mini tours. He was on Big Break 19. Really good guy. And he was playing a course. And I said, how many times have you played this course? He says, about 100. We went through the first 9 holes. He could tell me every shot where it's going to be, where it should be, what club he's going to play next, where he's going to put it on the green, what side of the fairway he wants to put it on. He knows the course that well. He knows, okay, there's a slope in the green, so if the pin placement is here, I got to do this. I'm not that good yet. I just want to get it on the green for Pete's sake. That's all I want to do.
I hear that. This is why I've talked about in the past, and I might have to repost a video about like join a golf course.
Hmm.
Because when you play the same course every day, when you've paid your monthly dues in advance, you just go more because you can
Yes.
walk off halfway through a round if it's slow. If you've only got time for an hour and a half of golf, you can play and just take off. But you get to know a course so well, so you get to discover those nuances and what it's like to have that comfort level
Yes.
and just how to, the security of getting to know a course, how the fairway always breaks, left
Hmm.
to right. The sand over there is like got a gravitational pull, so never, ever, ever go left, so,
Well, that's one
you
of the things here. You got to remember everything breaks toward the ocean. And you got to remember that everything breaks toward the ocean.
yeah, I bet so. I bet so.
But
And
yeah,
everything should always break towards the water.
it always
So,
does. We got a really big body of water out here.
yeah, yeah, I guess you do. Yeah. I'm not that close to the water. I'm a little inland. So I just have a little pond and lake
No.
runoffs.
So you eagled the first hole, and then
That's
you said
right.
it went downhill. What'd you get on the second? Do you remember? Uh-oh.
Um,
Did
I
it go
got
downhill that quickly? Did you wipe it out in the first
no,
three
I think I
holes?
got a bogey on the second hole, and then the third hole is this water hole where the approach shot is like 80 yards of water you need to clear.
Was it
So
up here that you said, oh no?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. So I actually played that hole the other day and I outdrove the fairway and went into the water.
Oh,
I
that's with the new driver, so you're not ready for that.
yeah. The old driver would stop 20 yards short of the water. And now I have a risk of rolling it into the water. So I might have to play 3 wood there off of the tee.
Aw. So course management has to come in account.
It does. But I feel a bit like you on the tee though. I want to hit it and I want to hit it with all my heart and I want it to roll up to the very edge of the water. I want that 80-yard shot in. I don't want a 100-yard shot in. I don't want a 110-yard shot in.
Actually, you know what? That's an interesting because if it came to me, I would prefer a 100-yard shot than I would an 80-yard shot because I know what my 100-yard club is. But
What
at
is your
80,
100-yard club?
it's a little gap wedge. It's a three-quarter gap wedge for me.
Cool.
My 80-yard is probably a full sand, but I'd rather do a little gap instead of a full sand wedge in. So I know, I mean, I know if you give me 100 yards, I could put it right in the middle of the green. That's no problem at all. But I
That's
don't
so
like
cool.
there's certain distances I don't like. 80 yards, 75, 70. I don't like those yardages. They're weird for
Yeah.
me.
I love 55 is my 60 degree, 65 yards is my sand wedge, 75 yards is my pitching, 85 yards is my 9 iron. It goes a little longer, I'm hitting it a little longer now. So I
Well, that's
think as
how
I get this footwork adjusted, I'll probably gain 5 to 10 more yards with each club. But I hear you, and my favorite club is is 60 sand and pitching wedge. Those are my favorite approach clubs.
Oh, see, well, again, I was doing really good until I got to the simulators, and then they started working with my swing, and now I don't know where I'm at. My pitching wedge was, 110. Now it's 125. My 7 iron was 150. Now it's 165. So
Wow.
I don't know where these, I have to go. I have to literally start with my gap wedge and work all the way up to all my clubs now and get my yardages back in because I've worked with my tempo, worked with my body, worked with everything, and I've added a club and a half to all my clubs. So it's just weird.
It's a really good problem to have. It's kind of the dream problem in golf.
Hmm.
But I'm with you, and I'm not there yet with my irons, but I hope to be. And good on us for putting the
I know.
practice in, for doing the work to make ourselves better and hit our goals to break 80.
Yes, it is. I was at the course. It's a simulator, and the Dunes Club, which is where the Myrtle Beach Classic is going to be played, and we put on a par three, and it was 175 yards, 170 carry, 175 to the pin, 185 cleared the green. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I hit like a 5 iron, and I was way over the green. I went down to a 6 iron, and I was basically my 175 club. I'm like, that is not supposed to be that. And maybe the simulators are wrong. So I went out to the real world, and yep, that's where I was at. So, like I said, I know now I have to redo my little sheet where I have all my yardages. They're all getting crossed off and putting new yardages on there now,
Wow,
which can help
that's
me out
great.
because now I don't have to worry about course management so much.
Oh, nice. But you will.
But I
Yeah.
will. But I
That's
will.
cool. And for newer golfers out there, they probably have not put a lot of thought into what is each club doing, but that's a really pivotal part of the game is what do your clubs do? We're not just out here hitting balls, you
No, you
know?
have to know exactly. Like I said, you get up on there, you get on the fairway. You're 155 out. What club is that? Is it an eight? Is it a seven? Is it a nine? Is it whatever it's going to be? You got to know that walking up there, so you're not. You know, First of all, you got to play ready golf. If you ask me, you should be playing ready golf. I don't want people behind me waiting while I'm sitting there going, "Well, I don't know what it is." You know what
Oh
your
my
cart
gosh,
yard
I
is. You
agree.
walk up there 150. I know now. Now it's going to be an 8 iron for me. Just take out the 8 iron. You'll go out there, grip it and rip it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You'll be so proud of me. I have been walking my course lately, and didn't you say that your area is a lot of walking?
No walking.
Oh, you're no walking. You're
There's
all
no
cart.
walking.
That's
All cart.
right.
The last course they banned hand carts only because we're so busy here. This is the golf
Okay.
cart capital of the world. They don't want to slow things down, so everything is golf cart only.
That makes sense. And if anybody's ever played in the South, that's the fastest golf that there is.
Hmm.
The South don't mess around.
No, we
So,
do
and
not.
they tell you that the starters will tell you that, and you play, you get grouped with people. I mean, that's a 4 hour round. In the South, you're probably not playing 5 hour
Oh
weekend.
yeah, we do. In the summertime when it gets really busy, they'll double tee, and there's some places where you'll have a 6 hour round, which is really you got. I mean, you'll see two groups waiting to tee off, a group teeing off, a group in the fairway, and a group on the green. It's like it's to me it gets a little bad, to a point where it's not fun golfing anymore in the
Yeah,
summertime. I wait for the
it's
glow.
so hard.
Yeah, wait for
It,
the tourists to go away so we can have the courses back to ourselves.
I bet so. No doubt about it. It's so hard to wait
Oh, yes,
five
it is.
minutes on every shot, 10
Hmm.
minutes on every tee. It's really hard. It's easy to get distracted, play with the cell phone, goof off, or get frustrated. The
Yep.
muscles can get cold. So
Hmm.
the last couple of years, I've been working on how to stay warm, how to stay focused during those periods when it's just weekend golf is
One thing
just
you do to stay warm is not go out when it's raining and follow someone on a golf course. How you
That,
feeling? 'Cause you
yeah, that's a good pro tip. For sure. Yeah, so I've been trying to get out, maybe chip around the tee box, chip onto the tee box, just do some stuff to keep golf focused. It's just so hard. 5 minutes on every shot is a lot of time to wait.
Oh
Five
yeah,
minutes.
it
Oh,
is, and then the problem is that it's on a par five, and the guy hit a driver 175, and he's 240 out from the green, and he's waiting for the green to clear. It's like, dude, you didn't even hit your driver that far. You're not going to hit your three wood anywhere close. Just go on, hit the ball as far as you can. Let's keep moving thing, and you get a little frustrated, and you
yeah.
just have to understand. This is what I do. This is fun. I'm
Yeah.
finding out though, the more I work in golf related things, the less I play golf. I'm finding that out.
I bet so. So last week I played 4 rounds of golf. It was beautiful. Did I get as much golf content done? No, I didn't. But, and that's the trade-off. So I can see what you're saying. The more you're working in the thing that you love, there's a lot of editing and production. I did get some content created, some video shoot, and some stuff done. I've got a lot to edit, but I'm going to the course after this baby. I'm golf ready. So like,
I am not going to the course. In fact, I am going to be back at the desk doing some golf related research and work. So that's again, the more you work in a golf related field, the less golf you get to play. And
I
you're gonna
know.
you're gonna find that out.
I know I am. And and it's important also to be watching all the golf. I was gonna tell you, embarrassingly, I haven't watched the TGL final.
Do you know
And
it's
that's
do you want me
that's
to tell you
also
who won?
you can actually say who won. Go right ahead.
Do you really want to know?
No, I don't. I don't want to know.
I know, so I won't tell you that Atlanta won.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I do believe I just saw my boy Rory, bounce out of the competition. I was about to see, I think Jupiter Lynx play next. I'm looking forward to Tiger's return. And
Yes. Well, I know. See, you're always behind because well, last week we talked about the TPC Sawgrass. You're like, I don't want to know what's happening. I don't want to know what's happening. I'm like, you're watching the day before. I already know what
yes,
happened. So you're always a day behind. Are you watching any of the tournament this week? The Texas Children's?
I was checking it out a little bit. I might watch it when I get back today, or I'll probably just finish the TGL. I really enjoyed the Valspar tournament.
Yes, that was a good
Um,
one. Well, I
I
know that
love Hovland, by the way. It was so great to see him win.
finally,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
It's been
That
a
kid is
while.
so hard on himself.
Yes,
I
he
think
is.
he's adorable.
Well, when he won the FedEx and then he decided to change irons and do everything, and it takes you a while to when you change stuff like that to get back in. Took him a little longer, but I think he's going to be back. Right now, the guy who's just destroying this tournament, and last time I saw he had a five-stroke lead, Minwoo Lee.
Oh, yeah, so I did hear about that. Minwoo Lee is going off. I wonder if the TGL helped build his confidence a great
Hmm.
deal. Not that he needed it, he's Minwoo Lee, but he was really fun to watch up close and personal on the
Yes,
TGL.
he is. I tell you what's interesting is that in that family, he's not even the best golfer. His sister's better.
Oh, I didn't
Minjee
know that.
Lee. Minjie Lee
That's
has
really
two majors on the LPGA tour.
wow. That's really cool.
I know. So, yeah, when she was up in North Carolina, they had the women's senior women's U.S. Open. We watched it there. So
That's
um,
really cool.
yeah, and it's interesting because they do the same thing that we do on the course. We were walking, my wife and I were walking out. We were done for the day. We were walking back to the car. As we're walking on the 18th fairway, a ball rolls right up to where we're at. And I say, stop. They're going to be hitting the ball right here. So we just stop. We're waiting there. The lady comes up and she looks and she's probably 80 yards from the green. Okay, but it's in the rough. I mean, it's in the pine straw. There's a tree root there, and she knows it's going to be a tough shot. And you look, and she is like 8 over for the day. Okay. And she looks at her caddy and she says, "Give me a blanking pitching wedge. I can't wait for this blanking round to end." Okay. I'm like, we say the same thing. And I edited it for this thing. We say the same thing. And she's a pro and she was saying the same thing that we do.
That's so funny.
She just wanted to
Yeah.
go home. She was done.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's funny. Last week I had a post about quitting rounds,
Yes.
and someone had commented to me that they've quit mentally, and we've all quit mentally before. It's hard to stay focused for a full round on a good day. If
Well, I
you
tell
throw
you
it
what,
golf,
I will send you a clip. I read that and then I was interviewing Rob West for my podcast. It's called The Drive Zone with Rob West. And I said, do people quit? I said, I've seen on the PGA Tour where the guy will shoot 78 on the first day and then start bogey, double bogey, and then say, "Oh, my back hurts," and walk off. I said, how much of that is real? He goes, hardly any of it. They know if they're out of it, they're done. He goes, you would be surprised the number of people who claim that their back, because that's an easy one. My back is hurting me, and they walk off because they know they don't feel it. They don't want to waste the time. They just want to get out of there. So it happens a
wow.
lot on the PGA Tour.
I bet so. And I've had so many rounds where I've mentally quit, and I actually had a round last week. I turned it around on the back nine. I shot a 90 that day, and I had a round where I shot 86 last week. So I was in the 80s and then a couple of 90s. But the 90 round on the first nine, I felt like a couple holes didn't go well. That number three hole really keeps getting me with the water. It's so frustrating. I just need to bogey it and move on with my life, worst case scenario, but I can par it. I've done that before. I can birdie it. Shit, I can hole out from 78 yards. So, but in any case, yeah, that round I was ready to quit. I think I was on number seven and I was like, do I want to play the back nine? It's hot. I'm
Hmm.
not doing well. Do I just want to take off after the first nine? But I did not. I stayed, and the back nine I played much better. And maybe I shot a 45-45. I don't know, but
I've taken off where, I get done with, on the 16th hole and I'm just not feeling it and I'm aching and tired and I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm done. I am done. But
yeah.
I've also where if I'm playing with somebody and I'm not feeling it, I'll be like, I'm going to take this hole off, reset on this hole, give me a double, give me a triple, whatever you want, whatever you want to do for max. Take off this hole. I'm going to play the next one. And that's how I
I've
reset.
definitely done that. Yeah.
Yes.
A number of times. I've seen my buddy or buddies do it as well. I've definitely done that where I am so mad. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna need to go sit in the cart for a minute.
Well, a lot of times that's after, you did a double bogey on the last hole and then your tee shot just goes so far right. That thing is, it's Blair Witch Project. Lewis and Clark ain't finding that thing. And so you go, you know
Totally.
what? I'll meet you at the green. I'm done with this one.
Yeah.
So
Or as I think about it, what would you hate more? A topped tee shot short of the fairway or a slice right, but you kind of got all of it.
well, I would hate the top because I know if I got all of it, I'm swinging the ball good. It's just my club face is off by this, but if I top it, then I know that something's wrong with this part. I'm coming up on
Totally.
anything. So
And
I
that's
know
where
that.
I think that day I had like a topped drive. And, switching drivers and switching clubs like Hovland, there is an adjustment period.
Yes,
And I
there is.
know that I'm in that adjustment period. And because I've been golfing for over 20 years, I've seen friends, I've done it myself. Um, there's an adjustment period that is like a month long or more or less.
Or less.
And I'm trying to just settle into the fact that I'm going to spend some time adjusting. It's a new length shaft. I'm getting used to the weight. I've changed my footwork. That's a big change. So I used to hit 90% of fairways. I'd miss one around, maybe two, but it would be really close to the fairway. I wasn't slicing, I wasn't all over the place. Um, it would just be barely off a fairway, but I'll get back there and I can't get too mad at myself. when I have
Hmm.
topped my drive, which I never do.
Yes.
And it is what it is. It's golf, man. So
Yes, it
golf
is.
is hard.
Did you see Tony Finau yesterday putting? Oh,
No.
you'll have to YouTube this, and for people who want to YouTube Tony Finau Children's the Children's Miracle Network is what in Texas. He had like a 4 foot putt for par, and he lipped it out, and it went about a foot and a half past the hole. And he got pissed, and he went up there and he went to hit the ball just with the end of his club. Well, he missed it, and the ball went about 3 inches. So then he had to sit back and then putt it again. Ended up four putting that hole because he was nonchalantly just going to tap it in with his club, and he barely hit the ball, and it moved a couple inches, and that was it.
Wow.
Yes. So it was like, and he's not in the running, but he still he made the weekend. But that's just something where a mental block. You can't be doing that. I don't care if you're a pro, if you're an amateur, whatever it is. Take every shot. Don't take it for granted. Make sure that you have every shot down. If you've got a 1 foot putt, and I've done it before, you nonchalantly hit it, and I've hit it 3 feet past. And it's like, oh crap, now I got a 3 footer coming back. I wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention.
You know, my scores are wildly different when I spend time reading my green, checking, I stand over the line and I check the way, I
Hmm.
see which side to judge the break. If I spend time reading the green and thinking about it, I don't have to spend a lot of time. I can still play ready golf. Other people are
Hmm.
checking out their lines. Uh, Hugely different scores. You cannot nonchalantly take any shots in golf because that's really where now you're short of the green and you're in a bunker, you know.
Hmm. Well, I know
So
that
yeah,
when I played baseball, I would get into the mental aspect and concentrate and have that focus, 100% focus, like Michael Jordan had, like you have to have. I don't do that when I play golf because I'm out there for fun. But I
hmm
I have noticed that when the holes are coming in, it's like, ooh, I hit a really good drive on a par five. I might be able to birdie this hole. And then I pay attention and I hit my 3 wood really good right next to the green. Now I'm paying attention to this chip. How is it going to break when I chip it on there? And I'll birdie it like, why don't I have that concentration 18 holes, every single hole? It's because I don't want to, because it's not worth it to me because I want to enjoy it. If it becomes work, I don't want to break 80 if it becomes work. I want to break 80 because I'm enjoying it.
that's cool. That's cool.
But I
I
do want to
hope
break
it works
80.
out like that. For sure.
Exactly.
When I've played in tournaments or played against anybody, there's this part of me that becomes laser focused
Hmm.
and it's like the Rain Man or something and I enjoy that experience. I don't get to do it enough.
Yes.
But I do enjoy a bit of the laser focused tournament mode and then I shoot way lower.
Exactly.
So
So that's what we're going to be doing is we're going to have to, I think our games are there. I think it's here where we lack. And that is the concentration, the make sure that every shot is where it should be. I mean, it's one of the things, if you eagle the first hole, you should be able to birdie it every time.
of course.
If you've parred every hole, there's no reason you can't par it again. And I think it just comes to a point where I think it's upstairs for both of us. And
A
once
hundred percent.
and once we get rid of that, then we're going to be scoring. Our problem is that we're too stubborn, and we don't. This thing rules us, doesn't it? So we're going to see whoever can control their mind is going to be the one who breaks 80 first.
100%. And I think this week I'm going to continue my practice with my footwork. I'm going to continue hitting balls on my home range. And then I was already kind of deciding I was going to be working on manifesting or playing the holes on the course before I get there, but really kind of believing like, that you can do this, do this. You've
Hmm.
parred every hole here, par them. You've birdied almost every hole here, par and birdie. And yeah, just believe it because you do this.
I know. If you believe it, you can do it. Guess
Yeah.
what? We're at the end.
Yeah. Sad.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is wrapping up another episode. I love these episodes. These are cool. And
Me
and like I
too.
said, over the next couple of months, we're going to be dripping what we're going to be doing for 2026, how exciting it's going to be. And I will tell people that we're going to be doing podcasts from multiple states. How's that? I'll just leave it at that for right now. Multiple state. Well, this
Yeah,
is
very exciting
it's
for
going to be
sure.
good. This is Joel, and I'll see you at the next T box.
This is Tammy. Till next time.